Hey everyone, Soundwave84 here, a Transformers review. In this review, take a look at the new Voyager class Optimus Prime from Transformers Rise of the Beast toy line and movie. And this one doesn't come in no fancy Studio Series packaging. This one we get a Rise of the Beast line for it, which I haven't really been following too closely on the Rise of the Beast because I don't know, I've sort of lost interest in the movies. But it's just I'm not understanding why some get a Studio Series release like Cheetor and Air Razor and Battle Trap. And Scourge. They're in the Studio Series line, whereas Optimus Prime and Optimus Primal are in a Rise of the Beast line. So I don't know if we're gonna get Studio Series versions down the line from these. They're gonna be slightly different or not. But this is the Optimus Prime. I'm sure someone can fully fill me in the comments down below. But I saw this toy. I saw him. I saw Optimus Primal, and I'm more truck, not monkey. So I went ahead and got this Optimus Prime because it looked decent enough. So I wanted to get it and see how it did. Here's your packaging for that. It's decent packaging. I don't mind it. I love the artwork right here, front and center. I even like the little beast-like cutout that's on the top. But I just wish that it had some plastic in it, or something to protect the toy a little bit more and stuff. And so then this way the box has a little more. Otherwise, it's very, flimsy. Side, the artwork carries over to the side. The back 20 steps gets you all the way around, and it's a pretty I say pretty simple transformation. It's nothing really hard, but it's pretty fun and everything. Turn this side to get more of the artwork. Voyager class, Optimus Prime. Top, Transformers Rise of the Beasts. Bottom, you get some of your legal mumbo jumbo. Inside the box, you'll get your handy dandy instructions that will tell you how to transform the toy and all that good stuff, and what to do with the weapon. You stick it in his hand. That's what you do with weapon. And so some of that little Rise of the Beast sort of design carries over to the instructions. And of course you get the Optimus Prime figure itself and his trusty rifle, which is pretty nice. I actually like the design. It's a little simplistic, not too detailed on the actual thing. Hollow all through the underside here. It's like the gun. The rifle came with the Bumblebee movie Studio Series Prime, but just smaller. A lot of this is smaller. Now I'll get to that in the comparisons here, but you just put this in his hand here. It's a nice Optimus Prime. I really don't mind it. The more I got this guy a couple days ago and I opened him up and I was just like, he is fairly cool. I really do like the Optimus Prime. He's got some good joints here that they're nice and stiff the way she likes it. Everything moves fairly well. One thing he could really use is some more paint detailing here in the abdomen section and probably around the waist. Otherwise, just to break up some of this gray coloring. But otherwise, it's not bad at all. Turn to the back side. He fills in fine. He's not really too hollow, and his legs are pretty hollow. But you just got this right here. This is for transformation because this all has to flip around. But you can see the hollowness if you look underneath. And his back, he's got that hole here that goes underneath his head. But that also for transformation things will flip around. But otherwise, he is a nice looking Optimus Prime. It's very reminiscent of the Bumblebee movie Prime design, just with a few things missing here and there, and a few things changed. His head sculpt is fairly nice as well. I don't mind it. It's just like a little bit thinner version of the Bumblebee head sculpt. It's one thing I noticed when I saw this Prime in the first trailer. He looks too thin in the trailer. I like a little more beefy, but he's got some nice beefy shoulders here. I do like the shoulder look here on this Prime, and a lot of this abdomen stuff, it closely resembles the Bumblebee movie design as well, and same with the waist. Now you can use some paint apps here as well. On the actual back of the back of the package, it shows these colored in just like they were on the Bumblebee Studio Series Prime, and it's not here. So they had a little more color on the back. Of course, the paint apps do change. Also, of course, they had this gun in the same gray, not this black they have here. We turn around, you get the back wheels here. It's not on the ass, so you don't get the ass wheels, you get the back wheels. But it's a nice Prime. Lots of articulation. We'll go through that real quick. You get some good hips here. Go back and forth. I like how the whole piece turns with it. You get upper thigh swivels. Get good knee bends here. You get angle tilts. You can go either way just because the tilt is actually in the middle, and you get the little rockers front and back. So lots of movement there. You get a little ab crunch here because of transformation, but it does prevent the actual turning of the waist down here because this here will hit that hinge, so you don't get that, but you do get an upper torso swivel. So you can turn that and turn a little extra here, and that is also for transformation. You'll be turning his torso 180, or his chest 180. Shoulders, you get this right here, which can 360 around. Yeah, these actually do move slightly, so you can get them in more dynamic poses. You can have his shoulders being part of the pose there, this actual piece. This comes up here, so you get a nice shoulder movement there from this right here. You get your upper bicep swivel, and you get some really good elbow bends here as well. Head is no up. Get a slight down. It's just got transformation. The whole piece will move with it, and you can turn his head. It's very stiff, and you don't get a full around because you end up hitting the back part, because the head sort of has a slight tilt going down. That kind of bugs me. I want him to look up a little bit more. So that bothers me. You also get a ball jointed wrist, so you can get some wrist swivels as well. So as your articulation on this Optimus Prime here, one thing I noticed, his head is done for like light piping. He's got this translucent blue in the back, but his eyes are actually painted, so we don't actually get the translucency going through the eyes, which in a way I like it. When you get good light piping, it's awesome, but when you get bad light piping, it's not. You have like dead eyes. When you get good paint, in the eyes, it looks really good as well. All right, now it's comparison time, and this is where, so I had the figure by itself. I was like, well, I really actually like this Optimus Prime. I really enjoyed it. Open up, transform him. It's very simple. Go back and forth. He's got enough beefy shoulder look that I actually like the actual overall look of this Prime. The only negative by looking at the Prime is just, I think his head's a little too small. But otherwise, I really do love this toy of Optimus Prime. Now, I didn't notice by holding it in hand at the time, but then I was like, I'm going to go compare him with my Studio Series Bumblebee Optimus Prime, and that's where you notice something. Both Voyager class, they both have a lot of key design choices that are very similar. The thighs, the kneecaps, the feet, and not the feet, but the shins, the abdomen and everything, the arms are very similar. The head design is fairly similar as well. This one just a little more wide and a little more silver on it, but the size, he feels small. I didn't notice, like I said, when I had him by myself, I didn't really notice that he was that small. But once I get him with some more Voyager Transformers, especially this Optimus Prime, yes, he comes across as being pretty small. So that is the biggest negative, is the scale. Is he going to be this much smaller in the movie? That's why I'm wondering. That's why I was confused about the Studio Series stuff. Are they going to make a Studio Series version of this and sort of upscale him a little bit? But he is already Voyager class, so I don't really see them doing that. I don't know. It's a good Optimus Prime. Not a lot of people are into the movie aesthetics anyway, but I think overall, as just looking at the Optimus Prime, I think I overall love the design of this one as a toy. This one has so much kibble going around on the back side and the underside of the arms. You can see all this sticking out. I think it sort of makes him look wider than he really should be. But I wish the head was more on this, but this head would be way too big. But I just wish he was a little bit bigger. But I think overall, the overall look, I prefer this Optimus Prime over this one, just in the way the proportions and the way the body is just designed. Bringing in one of the other Studio Series Optimus Primes from whatever movie it is. I think it's the first one, live action. It could be the second, or it could be the third. I have no idea. They all look alike. I have to go digging. But he's still smaller than the Bayformer Prime from one of the first three movies. Next to the Studio Series Bumblebee from the Bumblebee movie. So that scale, I think, works. And we bring this Optimus Prime here, so you can see how that scale was. And we'll bring in one of the first ever Studio Series figures. This is Studio Series Deluxe Class Ratchet. And next to Studio Series Megatron from the first live-action Transformers film. Yeah, I think this Optimus Prime would get his ass handed to him in a heartbeat. Sadly, the weapon doesn't support blast effects. That's something I'm just going to throw in real fast. That kind of stuff. I hate that they make a gimmick that they don't apply to every figure across the lines. I wish the blast effects could work with every series they do make. In robot mode, if you don't want him holding the gun, you can store it right here in the back. So that is a place to keep the gun in robot mode if you don't want him holding it in his hand. Alright, so time to transform Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime into truck mode. It's very, very simple. We're going to come back here to the back. We're going to raise this piece up here. And as we do that, you're going to turn it up, and then the head will go down, and this will kind of cover over that. Push in his chest pieces. Like that. Come to the back here. We want to bring these out. This right here needs to be fully up like that. Come down to the feet. This is going to rotate in. So you bring these up, and it's going to bring his shins all the way around. You're going to get them. And they come all the way down like this. So we got to bring those down and around. Tabs on his legs will tab together. So after you do that, take this piece here. And this comes over to the tab here and a slot on that. And that will help tab that in as well. Alright, so come to the back. We're going to bring this down. Now we're going to turn them at the chest. Right here, bring that around to the meats. This will be the front of the truck. Now take his arms, you're going to bring them back G1 style. And you're going to fold his fist up like this. Turn them at the bicep swivel. Bend his elbows back. And there's this little slight tab that's going to go right underneath in here. And you'll tab that in. Same thing on the other side. Bring that back. Raise the fist. Turn on the bicep swivel. Bring this back and in like that. Now we're going to take them here at the crotch. Break it down. There's these gray tabs down here that can go into the little slots into his thighs. We're going to bring this down and we're going to tab that in. Alright, now bring this down. Open these up. There's these small little tabs here. I'm going to go right in these little holes. We got to flatten that front of the truck grill out like this. I'm just going to line that up. Tab that in. Now there's a slot here. And these little tabs here. We're going to open this up. That around, tap it on. Here there's a slot, tab, I'll bring this around, tap that on. Same on the other side, tap that on. And just make sure everything is fully tabbed and locked into place. I do have a problem here. This arm will tab into that thigh very well. This one will not. For the life of me, I cannot get this one to stay tabbed in. And if I push on it, I just end up untabbing everything else. So yeah, that one doesn't really work for me, but all the other tabs hold pretty snug. Snug as a bug in a rug. Now after you do that, there's these right here. Tab that, and these come up on the sides. Like that. And there you go. You now finished his truck mode. And you take his rifle, and the storage right here. You take the peg. Goes right there, fits right in, and you've got Optimus Prime in his truck mode. And overall, I like it. I don't think the paint apps are as the lack of paint apps are as glaring in truck mode here. You could maybe do a few things for his grill and stuff, but when you turn to the side, he's got a lot of gray. I think that's probably the biggest complaint. It's all this gray. It's not too bad from the side in my opinion, but when you get to the back, this needs to be broken up with something, some paint apps. You can paint these lights in the back. Toy Hacks probably can make some stickers, stick that up. Not too big with the gray all on the sides up here. If the sides of the feet were blue as well, I think that would help out with the overall look on the sides and the back. Also, I'm not too big fan of the hollow feet coming this way because it just feels like almost like a oversized pickup truck, because this is like a bed of a truck back here. But otherwise, it's not bad because it stores the gun fairly well. And you do get this. I wonder if you can attach a trailer to that, and we'll try that real quick. All right, so we got Authorized Optimus Prime's trailer. I do have upgrades from Nana Productions on this thing. We got this little trailer hitch here thing. We're going to put that and see if that fits. Does it fit? Does it fit? Does it fit? That one says a big no. It fits. It's just it hits the back of the truck, so it doesn't really work. I mean, you can have it. It rests on the back of the truck. So that's out. And here's the trailer from the Dark of the Moon Optimus Prime, which I really need to get some kind of stickers for this thing. And we'll see if that works. It's a little bit bigger than the peg hole, so no. But you still carry it around. It's just, again, it's not really made to fit with this Optimus Prime. Comparisons in vehicle mode. Here he is next to Deluxe Class Studio Series Ironhide. This is G1 Ironhide. And in vehicle mode, this Deluxe Class really puts this Voyager Class figure to shame. Next to Studio Series, I think this is KSI Century or something like that. It's just like Stinger, just in blue. Next to Studio Series, Ratchet from the Bayverse. And that scale works pretty well. And next to Studio Series Crosshairs. And next to the Studio Series Optimus Prime from the Bumblebee movie. Again, you can notice the size difference. This Optimus Prime is a lot bigger, more massive. It's got actually like silver paint, whereas it's more just gray plastic. But you turn to the side, you can see again, he's got the beefier wheels. Everything about this guy, he's just large and in charge, where he is just small. But transformation on this one is more complex. There's more stuff going on to form a back. This one really doesn't really have much of a back, but it's more filled in here. Which one has more of a back, but less filled in down here. So that's just pick your poison. I really prefer overall the truck mode on this one. I think I prefer the overall the robot mode on that one. Just wish this one was the same size as that one. But both are still nice looking Optimus Primes. Final thoughts on this figure. Overall, it's a very nice Optimus Prime figure. If you love Optimus Prime toys, I think you'll love this figure. Where it falls down, I think it's this lack of some paint apps in the abdomen area, maybe around the crotch, and just lack of size and beef. We see back there in the background the Studio Series Optimus Prime from the Bumblebee movie. That figure is hefty, it's beefy. It feels like Optimus Prime who could handle some business. When you compare these two, that makes this one just seem, puny and not like a good figure. But I think overall, I enjoy handling this one more than that one, just for the fact he's less fiddly and has less kibble all around the figure. He's just a little bit easier to pose and deal with. And he's also, I think, a little more expressive in his poses than this one here. This one here just looks like he can just beat every Decepticon up. This one here, he's gonna have to use some tactics to get the job done. It's a good Optimus Prime, like I said, good Optimus Prime toy. So I don't think you'll go wrong in just having a nice figure. It's just not as big as the previous Optimus Primes from the movie lines. I want to say thanks for watching this review. Until the next ones. Peace out.